Thank you very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and a very warm welcome to Pointless, the quiz where knowing the obvious is actually a disadvantage. Let's meet today's players. And couple number one.
Hello, my name's Lee, and this is Shiva, and we're from Preston in Lancashire.
Couple number two.
Hello, my name's Storm. This is my husband Richard, and we're from Llantwit Major.
Couple number three.
Hi, I'm Usha. I'm from Hertfordshire, and this is my lovely sister Sharmila, who lives in London.
Couple number four.
Hi, I'm Gordon. It's my wife, Angela, and we're here from sunny Glasgow.
And these are today's contestants. Thank you very much, all of you. A very, very warm welcome to Pointless. It is lovely to have you here. That just leaves one more person for me to introduce, a former Eurovision Song Contest presenter who is resisting the urge to commiserate when our players score nul point. It is my pointless friend, it is Angela Rippon.
Hi, Xander. No nil point today.
Oh, no, it'd be great if they get nul point.
No, we want pointless, not nil point.
I suppose.
Yes, no,
yes. Pas de point.
Pas de point.
Ouais. Sans point.
Tout ça.
Ouais, peut-être.
Shall we welcome our guests?
I think we probably should, yes.
Lovely to see you all.
Thank you. Anyway, now then, listen, I must tell you, Vicky and Danny got through to the final last time, and they did not win the jackpot, which means we are adding another £1,000 to that. So today's jackpot starts off at £2,250. There we are. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. Now, I must remind you that it's always the pair with the highest score at the end of each round that gets eliminated. So just keep your scores as low as you possibly can, and we are all set to make it through to the final. Very best of luck to all four pairs. Our first category today is GCSE Chemistry. Woohoo! Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many chemical elements that contain the letters G, C, S or E as they could. Angela.
Yes, indeed. We are looking for any element in the periodic table that contains one or more of the letters G, C, S or E in its name. And all of those elements you will find on the IU pack at the beginning of August of 2024.
Thank you very much indeed, Angela. Shiva, we start with you. Tell us more about yourself, Shiva. We heard last time about your love of Gilbert and Sullivan.
Absolutely. And besides, I mean, my parents wanted to make a singer of me when I was young. They tried really hard. It just wasn't working out.
It wasn't going to happen. Then you went into Indian classical dance.
I did, yeah. I could do that, but singing was something I wanted to do as a kid, but somehow never got around to. But now I sing in a chorus, so...
That's marvellous.
Less pressure.
A little bit less pressure.
And somebody else does the heavy lifting.
And how's the voice?
It sounds OK.
It's serviceable.
Better when I speak than when I sing.
No, I'm sure. Absolutely sure of it. OK, so how are we feeling about chemical elements?
I'm concerned about mispronouncing it, but astatine.
Astatine?
Yeah.
Astatine, or astatine, possibly. Astatine. Let's put it to the column, see what the column makes of that. Astatine. Something or other. There we are. Astatine. Look at that. Look at that, my goodness. Periodic table full of all those awkward teens, you see. There we are. That's a pointless answer. Very well done indeed. Being a pointless answer, it adds £250 to today's jackpot, taking the total up to £2,500, scores you nothing, and gets us off to a rollicking start. So very well done indeed, Shiva.
Yes, what a great start to the programme there, Shiva. Astatine is, in fact, a highly radioactive element, and it exists only in very, very tiny amounts in nature.
Thank you very much indeed. Now then, Richard, welcome back. It's lovely to have you with us again. We need to hear more about you, Richard.
Well, I too like singing.
Do you?
Probably my finest moment was with the panto group that we were with when we lived in East Sussex. And they were called Pants. But probably my finest moment on the stage was when they finally asked me to be the pantomime Goose.
Yes.
I actually came on the stage.
Yes.
With my script inside there, with a little lamp on a shelf and a drink. my script went straight through me and fell in a long line behind me on the stage. But laying the egg is the easiest funny thing I've ever done in my life.
But of course, you wouldn't have known when to lay it because your script was scattered across the stage.
Well, I think they quickly gathered that up.
OK, fed it back up inside.
Yes. Because you need a script when you're a goose. You do, because there's a lot of honking around. So, yeah.
Fabulous. Richard, chemistry.
Yes.
Chemistry is round.
I think I'd go with terbium.
Terbium. Well, there's a golden egg if ever I heard one. Terbium. Should we see if that's right? Should we see how many people said terbium? It's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's very good. Oh, look, it's one of those as well. There we are. Terbium. Fantastic. It's another pointless answer. It adds another £250 to today's jackpot, taking the total up to £2,750, and it scores you nothing. This is just terrific. But it's huge pressure on Yusha, but there we are.
Terbium is a soft metal that was used in the manufacture of the very first rewritable CDs.
How clever.
Wasn't it clever of them?
Yes.
Yeah.
There we are. Now, Yusha, welcome.
Hello.
Lovely to have you here. Tell us all about yourself.
When we were younger, we used to live in Canada for a couple of years. And that's where I started my television career.
Oh.
Tell us more. Tell us more.
So I was in whatever the Canadian equivalent of primary school was.
Yes.
And a television crew came to the school. And what they wanted to do was to film the children doing PE-type activities. And I decided that I did not want to be the centre of attention, and all the other kids were being really busy, being super athletic, you know, throwing things around and jumping in the air. And I was just crawling along on my knees, bouncing a little ball, thinking I'm just staying out of the way here. And who did they focus in on?
It was you. Presumably, was this right across Canada? Everyone had seen it?
I think it was local news,
Local.
thank goodness.
There we are. Now, Yusha, to chemistry, and more particularly to this issue of these prevailing pointless answers.
I think I'm going to go with Seaborgium.
Seaborgium. Seaborgium. Well, shall we see if we can continue this lovely run of pointlesses? Seaborgium. Seaborgium's right. One person got Seaborgium. There we are. Very well done. Lovely low score.
And it's an artificial metal that was first produced back in 1974. Apparently, the method of production creates one Seaborgium atom every hour, so they're quite slow to produce by the sound of it.
Wow. Gordon, welcome back. Lovely to have you with us. This is your last chance to fill us in on details of your life, Gordon.
Well, I guess I would say is that I like to travel.
Yes.
And been fortunate to do quite a bit of it, with obviously being in the RAF and holidays and things like that. And
Yeah.
more recently, I've started taking to cruising.
Very nice.
So 2 cruises ago, I asked Angela if she would be my wife. And the last cruise we were on was our honeymoon.
Oh, but that's just too lovely for words. Where were you when you proposed?
Athens. It was a Greek island cruise. I was supposed to do it in the final night, but my bottle crashed, and I had to do it in the first night. And
Oh, you have to. No,
Get over
otherwise
and
it
done
would
with,
have
as they
ruined the whole... You'd have been awkward and quiet, and Angela would have wondered what was going on.
really, the round if she said no.
Oh, yes, that's true. Now, Gordon, what are you going to go for?
So hard for me to say, but Darmstadt-Eum.
Darmstadtium.
Darmstadt in Germany.
Darmstadtium. Darmstadtium. Anyway, let's see. Is that right? How many people said it, if it is? Darmstadtium, absolutely right. Well, 1 is our high score and nothing is our low. Ah, there you are. Very well done indeed, Gordon. Very well done. Another pointless answer. It adds another £250 to today's jackpot, takes the total up to a lovely round 3,000, scores you nothing, and is terrific.
My jaw is on the ground here, that you all know these. But the city of Darmstadt in Germany is where the element was first produced, and I can't wait to see what the other 4 are going to come up with.
I know.
More pointless
More,
answers,
well,
I
let's
suspect.
hope.
Yeah.
It's so good for the jackpot. It's just
Yes.
thriving in these chemistry
I
rounds.
know.
Amazing. Well, thank you very much. We're halfway through the round. Seems a good opportunity to have a little recap of those scores. Nothing is our best score. Well done, Shiver and Lee. Well done, Richard and Storm. Well done, Gordon and Angela. And then we go all the way up to 1 for our high scores, Usha and Sharmila. So, Sharmila, you are a bit ahead. You might just want to find a nice low-scoring answer. on the next pass to try and even things up a little bit. There we are. Good luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? There we are, Angela.
Hi.
There we are. Welcome back to Pointless.
Thank you.
For your last show.
I know, so
Ah,
sad.
So sad. So there you were, in the Greek islands. Gordon's being a bit shifty. It's been a bit odd all day. Did you know what was coming?
No, I was very surprised.
No.
So,
Came out of a
yes.
clear blue sky.
Yeah, it was a nice surprise, though, and a good ring, so, you know,
Very good. Very
that
good.
sealed the deal.
Absolutely right. Tell us a bit more about yourself, Angela.
And Gordon would probably say my hobbies are online shopping and drinking wine, but I do like to go and see live music. Seen quite a few gigs this year whenever we can get some babysitters.
Very good. Now then, Angela, let's go back to the periodic table. What are you going to give me?
OK, I'm going to go for strontium.
Strontium. OK. You want a pointless answer to be sure of a place in the next round, which means you'll have a sort of red line of sorts, a theoretical red line anyway, and let's say it's there. Strontium, how many people said that? 5 for strontium. 5.
And it's the strontium salts that make those brilliant red sparks that you get in fireworks. They are an important component in fireworks. It's also the component of the thing that makes certain paints glow in the dark.
Thank you very much indeed. Now, Sharmila, welcome. How lovely to have you here. Tell us all about yourself.
Yes, so I work in publishing as an editor and organise events. But apart from us living in Canada when we were little, I lived in Japan for 3 years after university.
Well, how is your Japanese?
Not good.
Not good.
It was in the last century that I lived there.
OK, but still, when you were there, were you getting pretty good at it?
I knew enough to get by,
No, that's
but
good. Yeah.
you know, I was teaching English, so
Yes.
luckily the people I was speaking to spoke
We're
English.
all longing to learn
So-
English. There we are. Well, that's just as well. Now, Sharmila, you're on 1. We are looking for a score of 3 or less.
This
What are we
is such a
thinking?
bad subject
Oh,
for
no.
me. I'm going to say selenium.
Selenium. There is your red line, Sharmila. Should we see if we can get you below that red line with selenium? Selenium is right. 6 for selenium. It's not bad at all, taking your total up to 7.
And selenium is what will give a bronzy tint to architectural glass. It means that it can reduce the impact of sunlight coming through it.
Thank you very much indeed. Storm, welcome back.
Thank you.
We must hear more. We must hear more about you, Storm.
Well, I did say that we like volunteering in our community.
Well, you did.
Yeah, and this year we took part in an archaeological dig in our town, which was really interesting.
So who was leading that? A local archaeologist, or did you bring someone in?
It was the Cardiff University
Brilliant.
were leading it. Yeah,
Did you
it was
find
really
anything?
interesting. A lot of slag. Yeah.
OK.
And after the slag, yes, they
Beneath
did
that?
find quite a lot. Yes.
Now then, Storm, you're on nothing. We are looking for a target of 6 or less to get you
OK.
into round 2.
I've got a few. I
Good.
think I'm going to go for Tennessee.
Tennessee. Tennessee. You get a red line. Should we see if we can get you below that with Tennessee? You're through. And it's one of those. Our first double one of those. That's another pointless answer. It adds another £250 to today's jackpot. Takes the total up to £3,250. Scores you nothing. Leaves your total at nothing. Brilliant.
And it's another one of those artificially produced radioactive chemical elements. And this one was named after the state of Tennessee.
Thank you very much indeed. Lee, welcome back.
Thank you.
We must hear more about you, Lee.
I've got 4 grown-up children and a grandson called Hunter. One of my children, thank you. One of my children is in the Grenadier Guards, so I was lucky enough last year to watch him at Trooping of the Colour.
That must have been very moving.
It was very, very hot that day.
Oh, yeah.
There were a few casualties that went
Yeah.
down.
Did you know which one he was? Could you spot? I always want to know.
Well, my wife was next to me, and all she kept saying was, "That's not him who's gone down, is it? That's not him who's gone down." I went, "No, he's still there. He's still there. He's still there."
But you kind of recognised?
Yes.
Yes.
His gait.
There, his gate. There we are. Thank you. Now then, Lee, you're on nothing. Do we think we can get double nothing?
Hassium.
Hassium. Hassium. You get a red line. Potassium. Is that going to get you below that red line? Get through. Good, it's another one of those. Very well done indeed. It's another pointless answer. It adds another £250 to today's jackpot, taking the total up to £3,500. Scores you nothing, leaves your total at nothing, and is simply all-round terrific. Well done.
Discovered in 1984, and its name is also derived from the German state of Hesse, which is where it was first made. There were actually 30 pointless answers. We've got astatine, which Shiva gave us. We've got bismuth. We've got cerium. We also have livermorium, neptunium, and rutherfordium. Scandium. We had tennessine, which, of course, Storm gave us, and zirconium. So well done if you got any of those at home.
Thank you very much indeed, Angela. That brings us to the end of our first round. It means we have to say goodbye to our first pair with their enormously high score of 7. Sharmila and Usha, it's been lovely to have you on for this round. We'll see you again next time, when I'm sure we can take it much, much further. But meanwhile, thank you so much for playing, Sharmila and Usha. However, for the remaining 3 pairs, now time for round 2. Oh, very well done. Very well done indeed. You made it through that round with flying colours. Best of luck to all 3 pairs. Our category for round 2 today is home furnishings. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns alternative definitions for furniture. Angela.
Well, on each board, we're going to give you 6 definitions of words that can also be names of furniture. Now, to help, we're going to tell you the first letter of the word that we're looking for, together with the number of letters that each of those words contains. You just have to tell us what piece of furniture we're looking for.
Thank you very much indeed. So can you identify the pieces of furniture described by these clues? Here's our first board of 6. To preside over a meeting, C, 5. Empire, with its capital at Constantinople, that spanned much of the Eastern Mediterranean region, O, 7. An area of ground that's been specially prepared so that plants can be grown in it, B, 3. A person or thing, the name of which is unknown or temporarily forgotten, W, 7. A piece of land completely surrounded by water, I, 6. And a group of senior ministers collectively responsible for government policy, C, 7. There we are. Lee.
I think I'll go with the empire with its capital as Constantinople that spanned much of the Eastern Mediterranean, and we'll go for Ottoman.
Ottoman, the Ottoman Empire, says Lee. Should we see how many of our 100 said Ottoman? Ottoman is right. Ottoman goes down to 19. Very solid start.
Ottoman, that's actually a very good answer, because Ottoman is, as you probably know then, an upholstered seat of any shape. Not always, but quite often it doesn't have a back, so you can kind of lounge across it. Yes, very comfortable piece of furniture.
Thank you very much indeed. Now then, Richard.
No, 2 or 3 there, but I think I'll go for a group of senior ministers collectively responsible for government policy, and that would be a cabinet.
Cabinet, says Richard. Should we see how many of our 100 said cabinet? Cabinet's right. 19 is the only score we have at the moment. And 28 is where cabinet ends up.
And they're not cheap pieces of furniture if you get the right one, because in 2004, the badminton cabinet, which is an 18th century decorative ebony cabinet, was sold at auction for just over £19 million. And it was bought by a museum in Liechtenstein on behalf of Prince Hans Adam II of Liechtenstein.
Excellent.
Yeah, I bet he didn't use it to put his underwear in either.
Thank you very much indeed. Now then, Angela, you are the last person to have this board.
Yes.
If you like, you can fill in all the blanks for us.
To preside over a meeting would be chair, an area of ground, bed, and then a piece of land surrounded by water would be island. I think I will say chair for the first one.
OK, chair, says Angela. How many of our 100 people agree with that? Chair. $33 for chair.
Right, chair. In 2009, an Art Nouveau armchair that was made by the designer Eileen Gray once belonged to Yves Saint Laurent, the designer. That sold at auction, again, for a little over, someone had a lot of money to spare, £19 million again.
It's always 19 million with these furniture collectors.
I know. Shall we clear the board then?
Yes,
the ones
I think we
haven't
might.
got? You were absolutely right there about chair. You were also right about bed. Bed scored 24, and also, of course, a piece of land surrounded by water. That would have scored you 57. The one in the middle, a personal thing, the name of which is unknown or temporarily forgotten. Xander?
It's a whatnot.
It is! And if any of you have got a whatnot, it would have scored just 2. And a whatnot, I bet you haven't got one in your house. It's one of those bits of freestanding furniture that you can put bits on.
Thank you very much indeed, Angela. We are halfway through the round. Let's have a quick look at those scores. 19, Lee and Shiva, very, very well done indeed. 28 is where we find Richard and Storm. And then 33, a little bit ahead of the field, Angela and Gordon. So, Gordon, you get the new board. Find a lovely low-scoring answer on it. Good luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? OK, let's put 6 more clues to items of furniture up on the board, and here they come. We have got an office that collects or distributes information, B6. The front part of the upper body, C5. A person employed in a theatre to help actors with their costumes, D7. A written set of facts and figures arranged in columns and rows, T5. To pay a bill or an amount owed, S6. And a Middle Eastern council or council chamber, D5. There we are. Gordon, over to you.
I think I'm going to go with a third one down and say dresser.
Dresser. Shall we see if that is right? Let's see how many of our 100 people said it. No red line for you, as you're the high scorers at the moment. 28. 28 taking your total up to 61.
The Welsh dresser, which an awful lot of people, if they have the room in their kitchen, is something that they like to put in, usually made out of pine or something very similar. And, of course, it'll take lots of plates and bits and pieces and all the crockery that you've got in the house. And that's what it is. It's a thing for storage for crockery.
Thank you very much indeed, Angela. Now then, Storm, you're on 28. 32 or less gets you into the head-to-head.
I know a few. I think I'm going to go for to pay a bill or an amount owed and say settle.
Settle. Settle. Shall we see if that's right? Here's your red line. Can we get you below that with settle? Yes, we can get you below that with settle. Down it goes to 14. That's an excellent answer. 42, your total.
I think you might have seen them very often. In a lot of pubs, they have them sometimes, don't they? And they tend to have arms and a very high wooden back and a sort of box-like seat so that you can store things underneath. Very practical pieces.
Settle, yes.
That's a settle. Very practical pieces of furniture.
Usually with sort of carvings on the back, aren't
all of that.
they? Yes,
yes,
all of that.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Shiva.
Hello.
There's your board. Would you like to talk us through it and fill in the blanks?
I can't think of the top one, I'm afraid. I feel like the second one would be chest. And the written set of facts and figures would probably be table. But I have a feeling both of them are going to be pretty high. So I'm tempted to take a chance with the Middle Eastern Council, a council chamber. I have a feeling it might be a divan.
A divan?
Yeah.
A divan. I mean, it fits. I mean, in terms of letters. Well, listen, you want to be scoring 41. Here's your red line. What happens when we say divan? Oh, yes! Shiva, well done. Oh, well done, you. That's brilliant. Through you go. Pointless answer as well, because we haven't had enough of those on this show. Very well done indeed. That adds a further £250 to today's jackpot, taking the total up to £3,750. Scores you nothing, leaves your total at 19 and ensures you of a place in the head-to-head. Very well done.
And you should have one, because a divan is a comfortable seat for more than one person. It has no back and no arms, and again is another one of those nice sort of comfortable, long things that you can lounge on. Should we look at the rest of the board then?
Yes.
Do you know what they are, Xander?
I think I've got them all.
Gonna clear it?
So what we've had so far, we had chest for the front part of the upper body.
Got that. Chest scored 55, yeah.
And then table for written set of facts and figures.
That was 31.
And at the top, that's a bureau.
It is, and that scored 20.
Thank you very much indeed, Angela. That brings us to the end of our second round. And it means we have to say goodbye. Oh, Gordon and Angela, I'm so sorry. This is it. There's no au revoir here. It's been wonderful having you on the show. Thank you so much for coming and playing.
Thank you.
I'm sorry we didn't get to send you home with a trophy, but as I say, thanks so much. Brilliant. Gordon and Angela.
Good luck.
But for our two remaining pairs, now time for the head-to-head. Huge congratulations, Shiva and Lee, Storm and Richard. You are now one step closer to the final and a chance to play for our jackpot, which currently stands at £3,750. But before we play the head-to-head, we're going to give you another chance to top that up with yet more money by seeing if you can find a couple of pointless answers just for fun. So here goes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many guests on the Morecambe and Wise show as they could. Angela, that's lovely.
My name is not going to be there, I'll warn you.
Oh, that's a shame.
So what we're going to do is show you 6 options. Now, 4 of them are famous people who have appeared on the show. 2 of them are scoring, 2 of them are pointless, and 2 of them have not had the pleasure of appearing on the show at all. So you just have to name them, and £250 goes into the jackpot for every pointless answer you manage to come up with. So good luck.
Thank you very much indeed. So can you find the 2 pointless guests on the Morecambe and Wise show from these 6? Shirley Bassey, Harold Wilson, Vanessa Redgrave, Floella Benjamin, Ronnie Corbett, Elton John. Does anybody know anything?
Definitely been
Any
on.
ideas?
Shirley Bassey's definitely been on. And Vanessa Redgrave's been on. I think Harold Wilson has.
What about
I don't
Floella
think
Benjamin?
Floella Benjamin has been on.
She might have been too young.
Yes, so
OK, Shiva and Lee, I'm going to ask you, who do you want to nominate?
Harold Wilson.
Harold Wilson. Should we see if Harold Wilson is a pointless Morecambe and Wise guest? He's a Morecambe and Wise guest. Looking good. Ah, it is good. Now then, Storm and Richard, who would you like to nominate?
We're thinking Elton John, I think.
Yeah, let's
Elton
try
John.
Elton John.
You're going to go Elton John. Should we see if Elton John is a pointless Morecambe and Wise guest? Definitely a Morecambe and Wise guest. Ah, 6. There we are.
Elton, of course, did appear in 1976 and again in 1977. Shirley Bassey appeared in 1971 in their Christmas show, and that would have scored you 15. There is another pointless there, but I'm going to tell you who the 2 were not ever on the show. Floella Benjamin, she never appeared on the show, and Ronnie Corbett also was never on Morecambe and Wise, but the other person who was, how could you forget? Vanessa Redgrave, she was the other pointless answer there.
Thank you very much indeed, and well done. And you managed to find £250 to add to our jackpot, which is terrific, taking it up to an altogether more satisfactory £4,000. But who will be playing for it? Well, we'll just have to find out in the head-to-head. OK, the first pair to win 2 questions will be playing for that jackpot. You are now allowed to confer before you give your answers. Best of luck to both pairs. Here's our first question, and it is all about negative flags. Angela.
Well, we're going to show you national flags of 5 countries, but we've inverted the colours, so it actually gives them the look of a photographic negative. Please give us the names of the countries, and just remember that, as always, by country we mean a sovereign state that is a member of the United Nations in its own right.
Thank you very much. OK, let's reveal our 5 negative flags. Here they come. We have A, B, C, D, and E. There we are. 5 negative flags. Now, Shiva and Lee, you get to go first.
We don't know all of them, so we're going to go for B and Portugal.
B, Portugal. Portugal. Now, Storm and Richard, do you fancy talking us through the rest of that board?
We think A is South Africa.
Canada.
We think C is Canada. Bit confused by D, but it looks suspiciously like Scotland. But we won't go for that anyhow. We'll go for E, and we think it's Bhutan.
Bhutan, you're going to say for E. So we have Portugal and we have Bhutan. Shiva and Lee have gone for B and are saying Portugal. Let's see how many of our 100 said that. It is indeed Portugal. That goes down to 20. Meanwhile, Storm and Richard have gone for Bhutan for E. Should we see how many of our 100 said Bhutan? Is it right? It is right. And it wins you the point. And down it goes to 5. Very well done indeed. Storm and Richard, after one question, you're up 1-0.
Bhutan, yes, beautiful country. I don't know if you've ever been. I visited it twice.
Have you?
Absolutely stunning country. Interesting that you said you thought D might be Scotland. Actually, 52 other people thought it might be Scotland. It's actually Jamaica, and that would have scored you 12. Canada, yes, was the third one on the list. C, 95. Portugal, you got right. And South Africa, they're up at the top, which would have scored you 47.
Thank you very much indeed, Angela. Here comes your second question. Now then, Shiva and Lee, you've got to win this one to stay in the game. Storm and Richard get to answer it first, so good luck. Our second question is all about ballets. Angela.
Well, we're going to show you the titles of 5 ballets, but we've changed one letter in each word of their titles. So please work out what the full title of the ballet should have been.
Thank you very much indeed. So let's reveal our 5 altered ballets, and here they are. We have Swap Cake, Thy Sever Dearly Sons, I Sample Can, Alive on Yonder Land, She Bite on String. There we are. Now, Storm and Richard will go first.
We'll go for number 2, the 7 Deadly Sins.
The 7 Deadly Sins, say Storm and Richard. Now then, Shiva and Lee, do you want to talk us through that board?
The first one's Swan Lake, and that's probably going to be very high. I know the fourth one's Alice in Wonderland. So that also would probably be very high, so I'm sort of trying to see what 3 and 5
Simple Man.
might be. Go for it. Just a simple man for number 3.
You're going to say A Simple Man for number 3. So we have the 7 Deadly Sins and A Simple Man. Storm and Richard went for the 7 Deadly Sins for the second one. Let's see how many of our 100 said that. It's right. 7 Deadly Sins goes down to 30. Meanwhile, Shiva and Lee have gone for A Simple Man for I Sample Can. Let's see how many of our 100 said that. Let's see if it's right. It is right. It is right, and it wins you the point. Very well done indeed. More importantly, and you are back in the game, Shiva and Lee. After 2 questions, it's 1-1.
It's a good job you did not settle on Swan Lake, because, of course, that would have been the one that everybody knew and would have scored you 50. And Alice in Wonderland would have scored you 45. The lowest score on the board was for the one on the bottom, which is, do you know?
The Rite of Spring, yes.
The Rite of Spring. Wonderful music by Stravinsky, choreographed by Nijinsky. 3 people recognised it.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, it all comes down to a third question. This is the decider. Whoever wins this goes through to the final and plays for that jackpot. Best of luck to both pairs. Our third question is all about Jennifer Lopez. Angela.
And we're going to show you 5 clues that are facts about Jennifer Lopez. We want you to tell us the answers, please.
Thank you very much indeed. Here are our 5 J-Lo clues, and we have... In 2020, she and Colombian singer Shakira co-headlined the halftime show of this major US sports event. In the title of one of her 2002 UK Top 40 singles, she's described as being Jenny from this location. 1990s US TV series in which she appeared as part of the Fly Girls dance troupe. Animated film franchise in which she voices a saber-toothed tiger called Shira. And US rapper who featured on her 2011 UK #1 single, On the Floor. There we are, Shiva and Lee.
Yeah.
Come on, then,
Go
30
for the
seconds.
US rapper there, please, and say it's Pitbull.
Pitbull. Yeah. Pitbull, the US rapper. Storm and Richard, can you talk us through that board?
No.
Well, no, but we can say for the first one, we think it could be the World Series.
OK, so we're going to go for the World Series. Pitbull versus the World Series. Shiva and Lee went for Pitbull, the US rapper. Let's see how many of our 100 people got that, the one she duetted with. Pitbull is right. That goes down to 15. Meanwhile, Storm and Richard are saying the World Series when she and Shakira co-headlined. Should we see how many of our 100 people said that, if it's right? No. Bad luck. But that means, Shiva and Lee, you, after 3 questions, are through to the final 2-1.
Would you like to clear the board, Xander?
Yeah, well, I can a bit. I'm going to say Super Bowl for the top one.
Yeah, that's right. 44 people got that right.
Jenny, of course, is from The Block.
The Block.
That's
49
where she's from.
knew that, yes.
90s US TV series? I don't... Friends?
No, in fact, it was the lowest score. It would have scored 2, and the series was called In Living Colour.
There we are.
And the final one, the animated series?
Madagascar?
No, the other one. Saber-toothed
Ice
tiger.
Age. Ice Age, of course. It's Ice Age, of course.
Exactly. 19 would have scored that, yes.
There we are. Thank you very much indeed. Well, that means the pair leaving us at the end of the head-to-head round. It was hard fought. But Storm and Richard, I'm afraid you live to fight another day. We shall see you next time and look forward to it very much indeed. Thank you, meanwhile, Storm and Richard. But for Shiva and Lee, it is now time for the Pointless Final. Congratulations, Shiva and Lee. You have fought off all the competition and you have won our coveted Pointless trophy. You now have a chance to win the Pointless jackpot. And at the end of today's show, the jackpot is standing at £4,000. So all we need is one more pointless answer in this round and you will take that £4,000 jackpot home with you. What would you like to see come up?
We're both quite good on TV and films.
OK, let's see what comes up and keep fingers crossed. Here is today's selection. Art and Literature Prizes, World Waterbird Species, 21st Century US Legal TV Dramas, and European Premier League Footballers.
We'll work together with the 21st Century Legal TV Dramas or Art and Literature. If you feel confident with the third one.
Go on, if you want to do that,
we?
that's fine.
What do you think?
21st Century Legal.
Shall we try?
Yes, we'll try that.
OK, well, let us go for that. 21st Century US Legal TV Dramas.
And we are looking for the name of anyone who received an acting credit in at least 4 episodes of the following US TV series. Better Call Saul, which was 2015 to 2022, or Suits, 2011 to 2019. Now, this is according to imdb.com as of July 2024. Best of luck.
Thank you very much. Now, as always, you've got up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers. All you need to win that jackpot is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Are you ready?
As well, ever be.
OK, well, let's put 60 seconds up on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
Not really any.
Actors in Suits, I mean, the most obvious one is Meghan Markle, and that's going to be very high. Lots of episodes. In Suits, Better Call Saul.
Just think of Suits and think of actors that you've seen who might have been in it.
I don't know any of the actors in Suits. I've never watched it.
Have you watched Better Call Saul?
Yeah, but no, it's the same people from Breaking Bad. I think it's a crossover, isn't it?
It's Bryan Cranston.
Yeah. Aaron Paul, I don't know whether he was in it.
Actors in Suits. Think of someone who might have appeared in Suits.
Somebody appeared in Suits. Just...
Who played Meghan Markle's dad? He's also in the Jack, the spin-off of John Krasinski.
10 seconds left.
It's a spin-off of John Krasinski's. Who plays the dad? Ted Dancing. No, I don't think it's him.
I'm afraid that is your time up. I'm so sorry. What can you give me? 3 answers.
We've drawn a complete blank.
I started watching Breaking Bad, but I've only got to about season 2 or 3, so I've not even seen any of them. Aaron Paul.
Take a guess.
Aaron Paul and Bryan Cranston.
And Bryan Cranston. OK.
We'll try Hannah Waddingham.
Hannah Waddingham. For which? For Suits?
Better Call Saul.
Oh, for Better Call Saul. OK. Of those three, which is your best shot at a pointless answer?
None. Maybe put Aaron Paul.
OK, Aaron Paul we'll put last. Least likely to be
Hannah
pointless?
Waddingham, because I don't think she's in it.
Hannah Waddingham,
yeah.
and then Bryan Cranston we put in the middle.
Should we just go now?
OK, well, let's put those answers up on the board in that order, and here they are. We have Hannah Waddingham, we have Bryan Cranston, and we have Aaron Paul. Well, there they are up on the board. If one of these turns out to be pointless and wins you £4,000, what would you like to do with it, Shiva?
Holiday, absolutely.
We're here for living, so holidays. Maybe I'll take my grandson away again with my daughter and my wife, and then we'll do something together.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a great fondness for the Highlands of Scotland.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't it be lovely if one of these somehow brings that prize in for you? Let's see. Hannah Waddingham is your first answer. Willing for actors in 4 or more episodes of Better Call Saul. Shall we see if Hannah Waddingham is... Let's see if she's right first, shall we? No. I'm afraid not Hannah Waddingham. We now turn to Bryan Cranston. We remain with Better Call Saul. Bryan Cranston, might he be in it? Might he be pointless for £4,000? No bad luck, he's not, I'm afraid. Let us see if Aaron Paul is in it. And might he be pointless for £4,000? No, I'm so sorry. Well, there we are. I'm afraid that one didn't fall particularly well for you. Never mind, you didn't find a pointless answer, so I'm afraid you don't win today's pointless jackpot. But you do win today's pointless trophy, so don't forget that. And you've been fantastic. It's been lovely having you on the show.
You.
And you were so close, because you were right that Better Call Saul is indeed a prequel to Breaking Bad, and Breaking Bad's 2 stars, Aaron Paul and Bryan Cranston, did in fact make cameo appearances in Better Call Saul, but they only appeared in a couple of them, not in 4 episodes, which is what we were asking for. And the wonderful Hannah Waddingham, of course, she was the star of that fabulous TV drama, Ted Lasso, for which she actually won an Emmy. But no, she was never in the other ones. So let's have a look at some of the pointless answers. And people that you could have named would have been Carol Burnett, Giancarlo Esposito, Kerry Condon and Michael McKean. And in fact, the only cast members that scored points were Bob Odenkirk, Jonathan Banks and Rhea Seehorn. Moving on to actors in 4 or more episodes of Suits. Here you could have had Gina Torres, Rick Hoffman, Sarah Rafferty or Wendell Pierce. Now, the only scoring answers were Meghan Markle, everybody would have got that, I think, Patrick J. Adams, Gabriel Macht and Katherine Heigl. Well done at home if you are fans of those series, and you got a pointless answer as well.
Thank you very much indeed, Angela. And thank you so much, Shiva and Lee. I'm sorry you didn't win our jackpot today. That will therefore roll over onto the next show, when we will be playing for £5,000. Join us then to see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Angela.
Bye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.